We are live now. We are just in the process of doing our tags as we always do in order to get the engagement of our viewers. And so please bear with us. I sit there and think about it, fellas. We've had a lot of guests on here. When we sit here and think about it, Jamar, in the time we've been doing a pod, we've had a pretty damn good amount. That's something to be like proud of. It's a blessing, as they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. You never think about it because you're just so used to keeping it moving,
Yep.
you know, yeah,
And that's why I'd be having like the mindset and the philosophy of, especially as I get older, like I appreciate the journey more than the destination. I really do.
mm, that's real, yes, sir. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning, guys. We are just in the process of doing our weekly tags as we always do for active engagement.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning, guys. Just in the process of doing our weekly tags for active engagement. I guess who I talked to this week, y'all. Y'all remember Anthony? Anthony Walsh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
was talking to him. He had a bit of a change in his life, just job wise, and so, but he's still doing the baseball with his kids, etc. The softball, he coaching, just, just a different change in his life. Told him I was happy for him. He said, "What's up?" By the way,
Anthony's a good dude.
yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah. That's the person I'm looking for. All right, and so, should I do John? Reverend Crowder. Yes, that's the person I was looking for too, Reverend Crowder.
Man, we
All
should bring
right.
him
Good
back on.
morning. Good morning. Good morning, world. Welcome to another episode of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We appreciate you all rocking with us this morning, as we do every Saturday morning. And so, thank you for embarking with us on our fifth episode. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left some, back like we ain't got no clothes in our back. And for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place from this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always the blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder, every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, again on IG at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or various places where you can find your podcasts as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast within your search engine, as well as um, excuse me, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and N. Jones. Today is September 16th of 2023. We have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw the NFL season kick off and my Chicago Bears come out in one of their most embarrassing season opening losses I've ever seen as a Bears fan. The second half was just abysmal. It was something to marvel as terrible, and it was something that really set off a lot of alarms across the city of Chicago, as well as the football world. The firing of Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker with a pending investigation, sadly, of sexual assault. On the other hand, the Colorado Buffaloes continued their winning ways and head into a big showdown against Colorado State University tonight. Additionally, Las Vegas Aces took care of my Chicago Sky in the first round of the WNBA playoffs. In the first game of the first round of the WNBA playoffs. Game 2 is tomorrow evening. The Chicago Cubs remain in contention for the NL wild card. Josh Allen is looking suspect out there, as well as Jalen Hurts, who led his Eagles at least to a 2-0 start. And so, with that being said, introducing my brother from another mother and one of my partners on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, especially with the waves in the background. That makes me feel even better.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so remind me of a beach. Make me want to go to the beach and stuff. Yeah, and so yeah, awesome. All right. Additionally, introducing our partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and our other brother from another mother, Mr. N. Jones, Mr. AKA Rod Tillwell. Mr. N. Jones, my bro, what it do?
What's good? What's good, guys? How y'all feeling this morning?
Feeling great, bro.
See we got 123 Cancun in the background today.
Yes, and the cool thing about it, fellas, is that we can always have that background. Whenever it's raining, etc., just put that background up and it puts you in a whole different mindset. Yes. And so with that being said, fellas, if you guys are ready, let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
All right. So Jamar, my bro, NFL football is back. NFL opening kickoff was last weekend. And so the bad news bears is on the horizon. And so, fellas, I need you guys' thoughts on this game. What problems did you also see that were evident from this team in the first week of action? And just give the world and give us your thoughts from this game. And so, Jamar, we'll start with you, and then Ian, you'll follow up.
As far as our Bears, right?
Yes, sir.
Whew. Man, what did Coach Dennis Green say once upon a time? They are who we thought they were.
Oh man.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, rest in paradise to the legendary Coach Dennis Green. It seemed like they picked up where they left off at last year, right? Like, the offense couldn't get going, defense, getting obliterated, couldn't stop anybody on third down at all. Made Jordan Love look like, the second coming of Aaron Rodgers a little bit, made him look like the third coming of Brett Favre. Aaron Jones did what he wanted. Their pass rush basically did what they wanted to a certain degree. Play calling was suspect. Justin still holding on to the ball. DJ Moore, to my understanding, 2 catches in that game. Look, I mean, it definitely was not what I wanted to happen in the first game at all. Like, I mean, we all, picked the Bears to win last week, but if they would have lost and it would have been competitive, you still would have felt, a little bit good about yourself. But the fact that they ended up losing 38-20 at halftime was pretty close. I had, went to the store.
I'm telling you, I was hopeful.
I was, and I went to the store and let me grab a couple things. And I'm glad I didn't, was back in the beginning of the third quarter, because it just went way downhill.
Yeah.
So this is one of those to where it can't get any worse from here. It can only get better type deal. So A lot of improvement. That offensive line, my gosh, you can definitely tell. Nate Davis didn't play at all with the group in preseason or anything. No continuity, no like chemistry at all. Like, it's a lot of room for improvement. Like I said, it can only get better from here. It's just a matter of if and when they will get better. The schedule is light in general this year as opposed to last year. I mean, Tampa on the road tomorrow. We'll see, but yeah, man, definitely could have went a lot better than what we thought. So
Right. It's crazy part. We all picked the Bears, and I was confident as hell. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
yeah, I shouldn't even be wearing this hoodie right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Ian, bro, your thoughts?
Man, I got a lot from them Bears last weekend.
Oh.
So first of all, starting off the game, I think, everything was, they were going back and forth, kind of like I wouldn't even say a defensive struggle, just kind of like a fill out. And we didn't look so bad, but I just think overall, the play caller was just it was ridiculous. Like, to be honest, you know, I
Very
don't really
amateur.
think I don't think Justin had a terrible game, but you know, um, if we calling, screen passes for, a couple yards. Now I understand, you want to get the ball out of his hands early, but that can't be, the offense. We had no design runs for him. Um, we gave DJ Moore 2 targets. We gave up essentially a number one pick for DJ Moore and a couple other picks, and we come in the first game and we only get the ball to him 2 times. Not to mention those 2 times he got a first down and almost scored on, the
Mm-hmm.
second one, and the whole the whole team had to tackle him. So that tells you right there. Okay, we need to feed him. The time that we did throw the ball down the field, Darnell Mooney got a touchdown.
Right.
Uh, the O line, the O line looked like they never progressed. Like, if you just sat there and watched the game, the O line got no push. Um,
No
and
push.
yeah, no push. So now he's back running for his life. And then we get down a couple scores. And you could tell, like, on the bench, you could tell, like, the whole offense is frustrated. Nobody's motivating each other, from Justin to DJ Moore
Mm-hmm.
to everybody. They just look frustrated. They look sad. It was like early in the third quarter. They just look sad because that's like they look disappointed, and like I felt like the game was over then. So, then as the game starts going on, then Justin starts pressing. He throws a dumb interception. But I mean, by that time the game was over, and I feel like, at that point he's just trying anything. So, necessarily I don't think he had a bad game, but I think as a team overall, the play calling was terrible. The defense had a stint, where they showed up. They stopped the Packers, like, within like between like that second quarter. I think the defense played pretty well. On the first quarter, I was a little nervous. I'm like, man, y'all just letting them run everywhere. I'm like, what are we doing? The rookie Stevenson, he came down and made a couple big hits. I like that. He's real aggressive. Um, but when that third quarter came, I feel like they went in that locker room. They said, hey, let's get Aaron Jones the ball. Aaron Jones went and scored, what, 2 touchdowns after that, I believe,
Yep.
and the game was pretty much over after that. And we had no response on offense. We had no response on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Aaron Jones didn't get hurt, he probably would have scored another 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Mm. He went crazy.
Yeah,
Probably.
so I was like, the Eddie Jackson, I don't know.
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, Ian.
Oof.
Come on.
Oof.
Eddie Jackson,
Talk
I
about him.
don't know. I don't know what's going on with Eddie Jackson.
Come on.
I don't know. Like, in coverage, is like sometimes he lost. Like, on the first touchdown he gave up, it was his fault because he didn't. He was out of position in coverage. He hit in his chest like, man, you supposed to be a veteran. You supposed to be a captain on this team. We can't have you know mishap from you like that in the red zone on third and fourth and goal. Like, come on, dude. From a first time starting quarterback, like, I know he's a veteran, he's been sitting on the bench, but Come on now, that's unacceptable. You expect things like that from a rookie or first year play or second year player or something like that. You're a Pro Bowler, All Pro. Come on, man. It's
Right.
time to step up. It's time to be a leader on this team. Tremaine Edmonds and T.J. Edwards, my assessment from them, they can stop the run. I didn't
They
really
looked out of place.
I didn't like them in pass coverage at all.
Out
Like
of
I said,
place in pass
like I
coverage.
said, the defense had a stint, and like that first second quarter where they looked it pretty good, and then it was like when the third quarter came, it just like they just looked terrible. Like they couldn't stop the run. Jordan Love had all day, and the play that I knew that we was gonna lose the game when Jordan Love he dropped the ball in the backfield, picked the ball up, and the tight end was wide open down the field,
Hmm.
and he tripped on his own from scoring. The Bears didn't stop. I'm like, yeah, we gonna lose this game. I said when stuff like that happen, we gonna lose. We have no shot. So this week, I feel like is probably that's tough to say. I mean, this might be the most important game of the year already because now it's
Yep.
like we have this talented team. Because now I feel like it's not the team. I feel like it's coaching. So I feel like we got this talented team, and I feel like how are we gonna bounce back mentally? How they gonna bounce back mentally? So I feel like this is the big game, and I feel this might be like the biggest game of Justin career. How he gonna bounce back? Because now, if we go 0-2, we go 0-3 or 0-4. Now it's gonna be well.
It's Justin Fields
Is
who we
it
thought he
right?
was.
Is it Justin Fields now? So I feel like this tomorrow is probably the biggest game of his career.
Yep. That's a really good assessment, Ian, because people that I was talking to, let me tell you what they were saying. The first thing they noticed, and it's just my family, my brother, been on the podcast before,
Hmm.
as you know, Jamar.
Mm-hmm.
He pointed out Eddie Jackson real quick. Fuck is Eddie Jackson doing? Fuck is he doing? Like, you know, he all out of place,
Yeah.
off the bam. Even my sister noticed it. She like, Eddie Jackson, like, you a veteran. Said the same thing you said, him. On the
Yep.
other hand, she noticed the play calling. And on the screen that I was on, he said the same thing. The offensive coordinator, what is he doing?
Yep.
He said that Justin Fields actually is not having a bad game during the whole game. He's saying that. He like, why is he calling goddamn screens, throwing the ball a yard behind, the quarterback, and then expect him to run it up the field? Like basic, just boring stuff. Like no risk, no chances, no nothing. Very
Nope.
conservative, very boring, trying not to lose the game, I guess. And it was just terrible to play calling. And I really began to question, and everybody in my family and on the chat, they said the same thing. They like, is he pacifying Justin Fields? And will he just go ahead and let the wheels loose? Because
That's
I
what it seemed
remember
like.
like a couple years back and even last year at the beginning of the year when we were like 2-1, like they were
Same
just
thing.
letting Justin like, do his thing. But it's like with this specific guy, like he's like pacifying Justin Fields. And so the question then becomes, is it either Justin Fields or is it the offensive coordinator or is it both? Because also my dad, who lives in Alabama but is a Bears fan, he said he felt like Justin's holding the ball too long. And so how do you guys feel about that? Because I don't want to talk about Justin Fields. I love him. And I hope he's not going to be a bust. Really do. But does he need work on his passing ability? And so I ask you, Jamar, I ask you, in. And is he
Mhm.
holding the ball too long?
I mean, I feel like in certain situations he's holding the ball too long.
Yeah.
But just overall, I feel like he checks so many boxes to the point to where if he ends up being a bust because of his own like lack of production or something, then I would be like stunned. And I think that's why we have so much hope for the guy because he checks so many boxes, and we just sitting here like he's not being put in the right situations a lot of times. Now we know last year, ran for like 1,000 yards, and the general like perception is He can't throw the ball. He's always running. But if you actually, peel back the layers and, people that actually follow the team, that two reasons for that. One, his receivers can't get open in a timely manner. Two, the offensive line can't protect can't protect anything. So it's like, this offseason, they tried to like get rid of those two aspects and, let Justin loose. But if you got an offensive coordinator that's not making, I guess adequate play calling at times and won't, take the training wheels off the man and let him go out there and prove himself and like actually run routes to actually be aggressive and get first downs and not all these check down stuff, then it's like, how can you really assess someone? Like in all seriousness, like how can you really assess what you got? Like you running the guy like he's Mac Jones out here. Like
right.
Yeah. And also, like, I know we're trying to dial back the amount that he runs the ball, but I mean, that's, part of his, threat. Like, let him loose a couple of times. I ain't saying you got to do it 20 times a game, but, just let him loose. So yeah, the coordinator definitely had my head scratching. The only one other thing I definitely want to point out with that, like on the initial drive, like how, that third and short, they gave it to Cole Kmet, and 4th and 1, they tried to sneak him and he did, and they gave the Packers the ball.
Yeah, got no push.
Right.
And they ended up scoring a touchdown off of that drive. Yep. So it's like, that, like, I know you're trying to like, set the tone, but it ended up backfiring just because of suspect play calling. So it's little stuff like that. And the very last thing I say is Chase Claypool, like, bro, if you don't want to be out there, just turn in your jersey and stuff, like for real.
Oh, you took that one right out.
Yes.
Right out of my mouth.
Yep.
Chase Claypool, I just feel like so now I feel like we got bamboozled. I feel like now it was like the Steelers knew what they were doing. Like, oh, we'll take that 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool. Like, him being in Pittsburgh and, us just seeing like, oh, he's a big explosive receiver. He made a couple great catches here and there. But I guess, with them watching him play every week, it's a reason why they gave him up or traded him that early. He was only, in his 2nd year? Yeah,
he was a young kid.
It was only in his 2nd year. So now I'm kind of seeing why, they let him go. And he might be a healthy scratch tomorrow. Rumors around Hallis Hall, he might be a healthy scratch tomorrow. So that's never good. You're a healthy scratch in week 2 of the season and you're fully healthy. At 6'3", 230 and run a 4.4, you incredible. And you letting 5'11" DBs my size get around you. Come on, dude. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And that pissed me off so bad. Like he looked around like it was somebody else's fault. I'm like, no, it's your dude. He made the play. Block. What are you doing? Did you not hear the play in the huddle? Like, what's going on? So this is gonna be we're gonna see what kind of team we got like mentally this week. Are they gonna come out and play? And I feel like it's either gonna be the best game Justin ever played in his NFL career, or it's gonna be even worse than last week. They might be talking about the Bears all over ESPN.
Right.
Not in a good way.
Yes. This is so real. And like the Bears go 0-2, expect some fireworks. Especially if they lose to Baker Mayfield.
One more other thing, not to cut you off. One more other thing, not to cut you off. I won't put the loss all on the players either. Matt Eberflus has to take some accountability too. We just can't go bench Claypool or go changing starting lineups or anything. You got out coached last week. Take some accountability. You and Luke Getsy and Alan Williams. Alan Williams not even gonna be at the game for personal reasons. He's not even traveling to Tampa for personal reasons. But y'all got to take some accountability. Y'all got out coached last week. Y'all didn't get the ball to y'all weapons. The defense played soft at times, and the DBs they were trash pretty much the whole game. They had a couple moments, but pretty much the whole game they was trash. Y'all got out coached. Y'all got to take some accountability.
somebody gonna say to me that the Bears defense last week couldn't stop a parked car. I'm like, wow, yeah. And so your defense got to be bad if you can't stop a parked car. And so, yeah, with the comments, the offensive coordinator's been trash. Missing David Montgomery and Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Prescott JB stated, if I see the Bears run another bubble screen, I'm going to push Soldier Field into the lake.
Oh, man. I wouldn't even be mad at you.
Not the lake.
Kevin Clark stated, if they lose tomorrow, they'll be 0-3 after KC next week. Big game tomorrow for the season overall.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, Prescott JB again stated, actually breaking down the film, the Bears offense looked like a failed kindergarten science experiment. It's that bad. Missing assignments, poor game plan, everything. Oh, and I want to fight Chase Claypool. That man is a disgrace to the sport. And so, yeah.
Chase Claypool better have 3 touchdowns tomorrow, boy. If he even play, if he even dress.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, like you mentioned, Ian, like this dude, like just physically is a God-given talent here. And if he actually played up to his potential, like not only it changes the narrative about his career, but it actually like gives us an instant boost in the offense. Like we saw what he did his rookie year in Pittsburgh, but we also saw the shenanigans as well that loomed to it. So I mean, I look at it like this. I mean, if he doesn't work out here, I mean, that man might be your Walmart greeter in like 2 years. So I don't know.
Right.
Not a Walmart greeter.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point, Jamar. Chase Claypool is turning out to be a big disappointment. You know, the one thing we at least have with Chase Claypool, and it's the reason why you go with DJ Moore, is you hope that he's able to take the top off the defense, open up things. But he can barely do that now. And if you can't have him to at least take the top off the defense, or sometimes you can't, Luke Getsy, are you listening? Let Justin Fields take a risk and throw the ball downfield or vertical or some goddamn it to Chase Claypool, then what's the hell the point of having him? And so, like, that's what we got him for, to be able to take these type of risks, to throw the ball deep, take the top off the defense, open up the defense, expose people. But right now, the play calling is suspect. The offensive line is terrible. The linebackers, they look like a damn disappointment. The secondary is ass. Excuse my French, but ass is in the Bible for donkey. The defensive line couldn't get a push. They actually was all right, lad. They did all right. You know, they fought a little bit. And on the other hand, the running game was suspect as well. We looked terrible in every aspect. And the bad part about it, Shaw, was that it was against our freaking rival. And so that right there really just killed the morale of everybody because it was against the Packers. Now, if it was against Kansas City, maybe we would have had an excuse, right, Jamar? Right in, right everyone, right viewers. But it was against the Packers. And so that right there really just made it sink in, and that pissed everybody off because it was against them. And then it was the first game with, Jordan Love, and he came out there looking like Michael Jordan.
Game of the week, America's game of the week.
Yep, national televised game. The only reason why it wasn't the number one headline because the Giants did us a favor and not show up at all. So
yeah. And you know what was crazy? I think it seemed like I kind of hate when the Bears play like them nationally televised games. It seemed like we just embarrass ourselves every time. Like it never fails.
Well,
I mean, maybe except when we played the Patriots last year and we kind of like got going offensively, but maybe like a couple years ago with Nagy against the Steelers, we still got cheated out of that game. I don't care what nobody say,
don't remind me.
I remember that game.
But besides them 2 games in the last couple years, we get on national TV, we play like trash, like the Washington game. The Washington game last year, we couldn't even score. We couldn't move. We couldn't score. We couldn't kick a field goal. We couldn't score. Every time we play on national TV. So when we play on national TV, I just kind of shake my head. I'll be like, they're going to embarrass us in front of the whole country again.
Dude, especially in the beginning of the year. Like, if we're going to give it a national televised game, can it be like week 15 or something?
Hey, make it cold so we have a little excuse.
No, not the first game of the year. And it looked like because every time we play the Packers in the first or second week at the beginning of the year is a national televised game, and just like remember like the best one that we probably had that we ended up losing.
With Khalil Mack.
Yes, and
The
that
first
was a
game.
huge headline. Like,
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah. They should have
Can't-
won that game too, but
Yeah, I remember that one, man.
good old
Aaron
A-Rod.
Rodgers got started.
Yeah.
That was a classic, though. That was a classic.
for the wrong reasons.
Right. For the wrong
Terrence say
freaking
Brandon, bro, say it. The Bears was ass.
Thank you for encouraging me, Terrence, to just go ahead and tell the unadulterated truth.
say it with your chest, B. Say it with your chest.
Just say it. The Bears was ass. Exactly. That's exactly what they was. It's exactly what they was. And so,
Hey, clip this later.
man. And so tomorrow, it's a big game. Tampa's a big game. I hope Justin have a good game, man, because if so, it'll really, really make things look a lot brighter. The whole narrative will change. Everything. But if he goes out and he stinks up the joint tomorrow in, like you say,
Yeah, man.
ESPN finna jump in. Richard Dent finna go ham again, like he did last week.
Yeah.
And we gonna have a lot to talk about in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little scared because I don't know what to expect. You know, last week I was like, okay, even if we lose in a close game, as long as the offense and defense look okay, then I kind of be like, all right, we striving for, we moving forward, we doing something. But last week it was just like, man, we ain't made all these moves, we ain't made no progress from how they playing. So I don't know. It's still early. That's why I didn't make no Facebook status. I said I wouldn't go bash them. I say it's the first week. I said I'm not gonna jump off the bandwagon yet. I know stuff gotta take time, and so I said, I'm gonna give them a little grace. It's the first game of the year. A lot of them didn't play together in preseason, which they need to change that. Some of the stars need to play a little bit more. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little scared for tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. So,
Sorry, last thing I say. I mean, Terrence makes a very, very good point. Like on his last comment here, the problem is they try to make Justin a pocket passer. No, use his athleticism to roll him out. Sometimes call design runs, call plays to his strength. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Like any great coach, any great leader, you utilize your people's strengths. That's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, it should be some more bootlegs, some more play action, some rollouts, some maybe more read options, like something like RPOs. Like use that stuff. You have the weapons, just use it to his advantage. Don't sit here and turn him into Vinny Testaverde. Like use this man.
Yep.
Oh man, like Jamar, yes, absolutely. And Vinny Testaverde, I just sit there and think of how trash Vinny Testaverde is. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's the example right now. It is. And to think that, we got this coach from Indianapolis. Honestly, guys, when I heard he came from Indianapolis, that right there was just like, okay. It wasn't, I know y'all probably felt the same way about the viewers. Like, okay, why the hell we get him from Indianapolis? Like, like, is this really a splash? Like, what were the ownership thinking? Like, like they don't even hire any black coaches at all. Like the defensive coordinator is the one black coach we've had in how long? Like, damn it. Like at least on those 3 levels of head, we never had Lovie Smith, outside of Lovie since then, what the hell have we had? We've had straight Caucasian head coaches that have been trash, terrible play calling, etc. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but man, like I just want to call out the ownership. I want to call out the old lady. I love her. I heard she's a nice woman, but maybe she's the problem with this franchise.
You love her?
Well, I love her because she's, a senior citizen.
My thing is, I don't care if he black, white, pink, orange, gray, turquoise. I just want to win. I'm tired of losing.
like for real. And I mean, and thing I say, like when they hired him, like he was the DC of the Colts. I mean, at the time, the Colts defense was actually pretty good
They were
to
pretty
their
good, yeah.
defense. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's one game. Let's see what they do tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Good morning, Anthony Walsh. Good morning. Yes, been a while. And so, as you can see, Anthony, we are having a field day. We've been in 40-some minutes talking about the damn Bears. And so, it wasn't intended to be this way, but obviously there is a lot to unpack. And so, yes, y'all want to keep it real. No man named Matthew Everfluss is ever going to win a Super Bowl. And so, yeah, we're hoping that you're wrong, Prescott, JB.
Oh
But
man,
the
you
way it's
will.
looking, man, it looks really, really bad. Offensive line bad. Justin Fields, we're gonna try to give him another pass, but questions will begin to arise if next week, as example, he does not play well. Chase Claypool looks trash out there. I don't know who had a worser outing, him or Kadarius Toney, and that's something maybe that Ian I think we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And so just pure trash out there. Eddie Jackson out there looking like a rookie. In his first game, just trash. Linebackers out there look lost, deer or headlights. Defense can't stop a parked car. And so it was a lot to unpack with this first game. And the worst thing about it was against the damn Packers. I could see if it was against Kansas City, it was against the damn Packers at home. You feel me? Nationally televised game, America's game of the week. Everybody and their mama watching. Everybody on Facebook putting their Bears jersey on. And then 2 hours later, they take their Bears jersey off.
They put it back in the closet for the rest of the year till 24. Oh man.
And so Anthony Walsh was at the game, y'all. And so Anthony Walsh stated, and Jamar, again, send that link to Anthony.
Yeah.
So that basically we're sending you a link, guys, and viewers, so that when you comment, we can actually see your face.
And it's in the Facebook group only.
Right. And so it won't just say Facebook user. And so Anthony Walsh stated, I sat through that game, second worst game I've attended. Number one was the double doink. My son wanted to leave in the third, and he never wants to leave. There's no hope for this team. And so, yeah, that is Anthony's comment there. And just want to put this here. So click this link, everybody. This is as example for Anthony Walsh. You comment. We'll be able to see your comment. And we'll send you this link. Jamar will, and you can set yourself up here. And from there, we'll be able to see your face, see your profile picture, etc. And so, yes. All right. And so, for time and purposes, I think it's best that we progress because we've talked about this mess for quite some time. And so, fellas, let's progress to the biggest story in sports right now. Colorado Buffaloes.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah. Yesterday, as you guys know, Pat McAfee, his show, ESPN First Take, etc., all on the campus of the University of Colorado. Last Saturday was a celebrity outing. I mean, it was celebrities. It was
I mean, some everybody.
ESPN, Shannon.
It was an event.
Stephen A. Smith, Brittany Reiner,
Shannon
Wu-Tang
Sharp.
Clan. Yeah, rappers, actors, all at that little campus in Boulder, Colorado. They made heard it was rumored about 19 million last weekend. That shows you the effect that Deion Sanders has. This guy's an absolute winner. Everything he does touches gold, and people gravitate heavily to prime time. And so, yes, thanks, Kev. And so you guys can see Kev's comment there. My link isn't working since I'm at O'Hare. Great show so far, guys. Got to run. He's catching a plane to Phoenix, but he's cheering the Cubs. Yes. All right. Yes, I think he'll probably be at that game in Arizona too, because the Cubs are in Arizona right now. And so, yes. Well, you won't be too far from Colorado, Kev. And so the Colorado Buffaloes is the biggest story in sports right now. And so, fellas, um, just want to ask quickly, with the Colorado Buffaloes, can this team continue their winning ways? And is there a ceiling that you see for this team? And so, Jamar, you chime in, you chime, because we just want to talk about this. This is the big story in sports right now. And so, Jamar, your
Absolutely.
thoughts on the Buffaloes, program, etc., Dion, Shador, you name it.
Man, this is what I would call America's team. This is the true
Mm,
definition of America's team.
Yeah.
Because about 3-4 weeks ago, nobody was on this team. Now like I want to go get some Colorado Buffalo gear now. I want to get some Coach Prime gear from Buffalo. That's where I'm at.
mm,
Um, you know, week one, when they played TCU, nobody really knew what to expect, right? We were just hoping that they covered the spread. And I believe the spread was like 21, if I'm not mistaken, in favor of TCU.
Yep.
yep.
And yet they went into TCU. They got the dub 45-42, if I'm not mistaken. That's when Shador Sanders was really put on the map. When Travis Hunter was really put on the map. Like and we started knowing these names. And then last week, it was a bit of a slow start because Nebraska, which is not the greatest of schools in the world, but their defense is all right. And, it held them down for a bit, but they figured them out in the
Yep.
second half, figured them out
Mm.
quick. And then we saw how special Shedeur Sanders was, especially in that 2-point conversion that almost happened, right? We saw
Right.
we saw it. And, the one thing I would say about the young man is like his poise. He doesn't get rattled. He stays in the pocket, and maybe to a own fault, you got to learn how to throw the ball away instead of taking sacks and untimely situations. But other than that, I mean,
Right.
like I found out last week that man is a pro. He is going to be a pro. Like
Yeah.
no mistake about it. Definitely a Heisman, favorite at the moment, but he's definitely going to be playing on Sundays. That's for sure. Just the impact that Coach Prime has had. I mean, we can't say enough about it. We talk about it like every week, but we just can't say enough. And now, tonight's game, prime time game, and you got the other coach talking about, when I look at somebody, I'm taking my shades off, taking the glasses off. That's how I dress someone. Just giving them more bulletin board material, more motivation. Now Prime said, like I don't understand why everybody talking about us and we don't talk about nobody. Like, yeah, at this point, you just made it personal. So I
Right.
feel like they're about to run up the scoreboard on these guys. It's about to be a quick 3-0. But as far as expectations here and ceilings and stuff, like I deem this season a success if they make it to a bowl game. That's just the floor with me. They make it to a bowl game this season, a success considering they was 1-11 last year. So you become
Right.
bowl eligible at 6 wins. After today, they
Yeah.
should be halfway there.
Yeah.
So, and that's when after this, that's when it starts to get a little interesting when we start getting the Pac-12. So at this point, I'm thinking they win 8 to 9 games this year. But I also want to see how competitive they will be against the USC's of the world. I can't wait for that game. The Oregons of the world. I'm not sure if Utah's on the schedule, but Utah's been the cream of the crop in that division. I mean, in that conference per se lately. Like UCLA. I just want to see what they do against those West Coast schools. So all in all, man, like everybody is buying in to coach. Everybody is buying in, and you can see the cohesion. You can see them playing for one another. You can see it, and that's why they are America's team at this point. So I'm excited.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And so, yeah, and bro, your thoughts on the Buffaloes.
Just to piggyback on Jamar, they do play UCLA October 28th. Um, who
Okay.
else? Oh, and they play Utah the
USC.
last game of the. Yep, and they play Utah the last game of the year.
Mm.
Yeah, so they
And
they
when
they
is
got. I
USC?
mean, USC is 2 weeks from now. So
All right.
next week they go to Oregon, and then after that is USC week. So those are the two games I want to see, like how competitive they are. That'll tell me like the true testament of what kind of team they are. Um, I'm not really surprised at what they're doing. Uh, I think everybody else is because you know they got all these new players. But yeah, if look at look deep into it, okay, they don't have the same team that played last year that was 1-11. So we can't even hold the 1-11 thing against them. They only have about I think like 3 or 4 or 5 players that was on that team. And actually, coincidentally, one of the players he had an interception in TCU week, which is
He did.
crazy. Yeah,
Mhm.
and awesome interception, as might I add. So this is a brand new team. This is basically the team that he wanted, to be here. As far as the Colorado State coach making those comments, I just feel like um kind of classless, but I just feel like it's just hate. I mean, like Dion stated, he doesn't, he don't go around, talking about other coaches. He doesn't bother nobody. They just, like you said, we just come, put the work in on Saturdays. We go to practice. We do what we're supposed to do. Why they gotta bother us? But we seen the same type of thing in Jackson State though. We seen it from our own.
Exactly,
We
from
seen it from
various
our own
coaches,
people.
etc.
Yeah, we seen it from our own people in Jackson State.
Right.
Uh, and I just don't get it. But in a sense, I do. When you're changing the culture or when you're making an impact, like he's making, and a lot of coaches feel like they wanted to make that impact or they were striving to make that impact and they're not. You know, they get jealous, and now it's coming out. And so you even I know him and Nick Saban made up, but even Nick Saban, he was complaining about NIL and the Dabo Sweeney and Dion just playing the game. This is the new game we in with this NIL and college sports. So I mean, you guys have been winning for, like Nick Saban, you've been winning for 10 to 15 years plus. You guys lose 2 games and they're still in the top 10. Uh, Dabo Sweeney, y'all had a run. Um,
Yep. They all
so
worried
now,
though.
so
They
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah,
worried.
yeah, they
All
all
these
worried
Caucasian coaches, they worried now.
because
Yeah.
now we leveling the playing field. I don't have to stay at Alabama. I don't have to stay at
Hmm.
Florida. I don't have to stay at Ohio State, Michigan, just to
Hmm.
play. 2 years. I can go to Colorado. I can go to hell. I can go to Hawaii. Hell, I can go to Illinois. I can go anywhere to play. If they gonna promise me to play, I can transfer after tomorrow and go play. So.
Right.
I think it's talent wise, I think it's leveling college football a little bit. So it is sort of like it is sort of like college free agency, which is kind of hilarious. But um, I mean, I think it's leveling the playing field. I don't see a problem with it. I just think with Dion being this polarizing figure on the culture, I don't I don't really think we've had a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, or defensive player of the year. As far as coaching wise, I don't think we've had no coach for someone of that stature that be coaching. I don't think we've seen that before. So I think that bothers a lot of people. Just the way he carries himself. He's kind of like he kind of flashy, but he really not though. If you really pay attention to, I think people still stuck on the mantra of this
Prime
primetime
time.
mantra, but he's really like a, if you really look into detail, he's really like an old school coach.
Yeah.
He might dance to the newer music like the older coaches probably wouldn't, but I mean he's just a little younger than those guys. But I don't know, it's just when you're doing good and you're changing the culture and ruffling the little feathers and you beating people and they thought you wasn't gonna be good, that
And
bothers
you're a
people.
black man doing it too,
Yeah.
in a
Yep. And
traditional where white
oh
man
yeah, and
dominate.
And that's another thing too. When you a black father doing it with your sons on the team and he's
Right.
succeeding and both of them is succeeding, that's a big issue. A black father is
Yeah.
is very it intimidates
Right.
this world big time.
And Paul Feinbaum down in the SEC, worried as hell.
Hmm.
Worried as hell. Yeah, he's definitely a proud right. He's a proud Republican, proud Alabamian, and he is not used to this. His comments of as of late about Dion in Colorado have been very, like talking about like bombs and explosions and saying crazy stuff, and people just like, you know, he called it an epidemic is the word. This is an epidemic, and for people that don't know what an epidemic is, an epidemic is like when people are dying, like when people are sick, like when people are going through turmoil and trouble. That's how he's describing right now this new scenery of what Colorado is doing with Coach Prime. And that just shows me the fear that the traditional white man has of being on top for so long and now seeing a man of color come in and change all that. Don't let this man win a national championship. Don't let that happen.
Right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. That happened. It's gonna really piss some folks that's been used to tradition. It's gonna piss
Yeah.
them off real bad. But you know what? Change is needed.
Yep.
Change will come. And you guys stay. If they don't like it, oh well, kick rocks. At the end of the day, Colorado appears to have the athletes. They appear to have talent, and so that's really
Yeah.
what it is. And so you put in the work, like you say, Jamar. You put in the work, like you say, and you go out and perform on Saturdays. And
And more
so,
talent is coming.
Yep.
right, and that's
It
the thing.
is.
Jason Simmons stated that last week. He's very excited to see where this program is going because of the talent that will come is going forward
And
with this.
Dion said on first take yesterday, they about 7 to 8 dogs away from really doing what they need to
Hmm.
do to get to that point. So watch next year's class come in. Yeah, it's about to be curtains.
Mm, mm, mm. Yep. And so, yeah, fellas, let's now progress, guys, to our NFL reactions and overreactions. Have a little fun with this, fellas. Is it an overreaction to think that our Chicago Bears are in trouble, or fellas, are we sticking to our predictions prior to it? So, Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that the Bears are in trouble, or is it too early?
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's overreaction, and it is too early. It's just
All
one
right.
game. I mean, a lot of things could be true at the same time. We could play our worst game of the year, and the Packers could have played their best game of the year at the same time.
Right.
So, I mean, one game. Let's see what they do against Baker Mayfield tomorrow. But for right now, it's overreaction.
All right. And
Yeah, I agree. Overreaction. First game. I give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, it's first game. Gotta get those first game jitters out. So after this, Dave, I'm on the head after this.
right. Bears last
As you
23
should.
contests against the Packers are 20-3. All right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that Jordan Love, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, is the real deal?
Absolutely overreaction. Like, I don't know. I still don't know who he is. I really don't. Once again, like I just mentioned about 45 seconds ago, like the Bears could have played the worst game of the year and the Packers could have played the best game of the year at the same time. For all I know, I it's the sample size is way too small for Jordan Love right now, so it's overreaction.
Right. Yeah. And
Um, Overreaction.
okay.
Now, do I think? I don't think he's a bad quarterback, or I don't think he's trash. But like
Mhm.
Jamar State, I just got to see more. It's a reason why they traded up to get him, and they pissed Aaron Rodgers off to get him. So, um, obviously some talent there. We seen a little bit of it last week, but I just need to see. I just need to see more as a
Right.
full being a full time starter.
Right. By the way, world, These two brothers, they have no idea what's on this NFL reaction and overreaction. And so they watch their sports, they do their homework. And when you just watch it, you just know. All right. So fellas, let's progress. Is it an overreaction, Jamar, to think that the Tennessee Titans should bench Ryan Trashill?
I was not expecting that.
Man, I feel like I've been waiting for this moment for like 2 years now. You know darn well this is not an overreaction. Get this man out of here. I know the backups ain't that much better, but I'm tired of seeing him. Like, this man has been overrated his whole NFL career. I'm like, this dude got to go.
And he literally lost them next week. I mean, it was bad. By one point, I feel so bad for Derrick Henry. This man throwing picks out there in the red zone, 2 of them. It's just bad. Bad.
Like, it's so many things I can go back on. Like the playoff game against the Raiders. Remember that? He gave that up. That
Yep.
game against the Kansas City Chiefs that one time in a playoff game. I remember that one.
Hell, the Bengals.
The Bengals.
At
That's
home.
what I
The
was saying.
Bengals.
He
Yep, that one
gave
too.
that game to them.
Literally
Yeah.
just handed it over.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, like, no, he got to go.
Yeah. Ian, bro.
Nope, not an overreaction. My thing is everybody say Malik Willis is trash, but get a kid a chance. Give him a chance to play and see what he got, for a decent amount of games and be a full-time starter. I mean, what you got to lose? He needs the experience.
Right. Yeah. Facts. I like that point, Ian. Maybe that's something we should put out there. Yes, because maybe the Titans should begin to look at that. Or test the free agent market. Guys like Jameis Winston is out there, and I think he can play. I really do. If he's put, he might throw 5 interceptions, but I guarantee he's gonna put up some buckets too. And so,
Yeah, he gonna throw
I
5
guarantee-
touchdowns too.
he gonna throw touchdowns. His ass be scoring. He be moving the offense. I kid you not. Might throw a pick,
He
then they're
gonna-
gonna come right back down, throw a bomb on the next one. And so,
might ain't the word. He gonna throw a pick.
Right. He gonna throw a
Believe.
pick.
Believe, like Sanders.
That stated, he gonna come down. He gonna give you a lot of pass yards, give you a lot of chances to put the ball in the touchdown too. And so, famous Jameis, his name is being mentioned out there. Just an FYI, Jets, Titans, etc. Well, we don't know about the Titans yet. We'll see about the Titans. Titans seem to be very, very, as Jamar stated, in love with Ryan Trashill. Very in love. Yes. So this is why they can't move on, because they're in love. You ever, Jamar, know a woman that's in love with a person? So in love that she just can't move on.
Just can't let
No
him
matter
go.
what they do, she make an excuse for him. Oh, he was doing this. Oh, he didn't mean this. That's exactly who the Tennessee Titans are when it comes to Ryan Trashill.
No.
You call this man Ryan Trashill.
Legitly. That's exactly who they are.
The people in Nashville probably feel the same way.
Yeah. Y'all should have saw the comments after the Titans game, man. Against the Saints. Oh, people down there screaming for him to be benched now. They screaming for it. Yeah, they pissed. And so on the other hand, Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that after Aaron Rodgers' season-ended injury, the New York Jets should begin to pursue another quarterback out there in the free agent market?
That's tough. That's tough because the timing of the injury. I'm gonna say an overreaction just because even if you did bring in someone, like, they got to learn the playbook on the fly. Like, it's so much to that. Like, your best option by default, you just got to turn to the Disney Channel and watch Zach Wilson play at this point. That's what we have to do. Look, and at the same time, they need to see who they got in Zach Wilson anyway, because this is like a moment of truth year for him, like it is for Justin Fields and like it is for a lot of other people in this boat.
Yeah.
So you got to ride with him.
Yeah. Yep. Ian.
Overreaction. Like you said, I think we can't just write off Zach Wilson. I mean, he's been at all camp. He's looked like he's matured. He did throw dumb interception last week.
He
It pissed
did
me
though.
clean off.
Like, what was you looking
I
at,
was
bro?
like, Zach, what are you doing? Then they played the replay. I was like, okay. I said, okay. I was like, no. So they played the replay. I was like, all right, let me see what you're looking at. It was like,
Two
where
of
is
them.
like, I was in a video game. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
If
I'm
he didn't
like,
pick it off, that
Zach.
other dude would have.
Right. I'm
Right.
like,
That's
Zach,
how
what are
bad
we
it
what
was. He was just waiting.
I'm
Like, you gonna pick it off? They
like,
had
Zach, what are
time to
we
talk and
doing?
like debate. Like it was really bad. Yeah.
I was like, you can't do this. So I think you gotta give him a shot. I think he'll be okay. You gotta stop making dumb decisions like that, but I think he'll be okay. Just give him a
Yeah.
shot. I think he's mature, being around Aaron Rodgers, so we'll see. Now, if he come out, he be doing that type of stuff all these next couple games there. I don't know. They might have to
It's
go into free agency,
but
but you got to give
Right.
him a
And
shot.
I
He's
think it
been there
depends on
all
this week, fellas,
training.
but
because
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Jamar.
Go
I
ahead.
was sorry. I was gonna say like they have the hardest schedule the first 6 weeks of the year. They do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the thing. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. If he can just navigate it, then maybe, just maybe.
Yeah.
Right. He don't got to do much. That defense is fantastic, ain't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They can play. They can play, and they good on all three levels. That defense,
They are.
Pro Bowlers on all three levels. They shut down Josh Allen to the point to where now he looks suspect. He looked
Yeah.
more
Mister
suspect
just
than
Mister
Zach
just
Wilson did.
throw the
Let's tell the
throw the
truth.
ball up there.
I'm telling you, he looked more suspect than Zach Wilson out there, like legitly. They, that defense gave him fits, a whole lot of them, and that secondary especially. Quinnell Williams was all in his grill, all in Mr. Josh Allen, this great quarterback's grill, to where he was frustrated. You could see it. And so this is a very, very interesting point. I think, fellas, and I disagree with y'all. I think next week, and so I think it's not an overreaction because based off of how he looked, the Jets, the whole stadium, everybody just looked so worried. Y'all saw the stadium. Y'all saw
Yeah. I mean, the
Robert
stadium
Saylor's
was
face. He was looking like, I
this
hope
the
you
the stadium
you can
was
see it
just
in his
on.
face.
Yeah.
Stadium was on fire. Like when Aaron Rodgers came out there,
Right.
it was electric. And then it's really just a sad story. Like the those three like within those 3-4 plays, like they ain't got injured. So I'm like, okay, well maybe he gonna come back. And when he had to get help, dog, I said, well, maybe he twisted his ankle. But then I seen a replay. I'm just like, I said that's either a calf or that's either that other thing that he
Right.
ain't
The
coming back
other
from.
thing, which is the worst thing.
So, So when I seen him in the boot, I was like, oh yeah. I said it's over with. I said he ain't coming back today, and this look like it's gonna be a little deeper than what they thought it was, and just
Right.
unfortunate, man. That's it's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for them as a franchise. Like that's tough. You got these high expectations. This team is ready. You just got
Right.
Dalvin Cook. Uh, this defense is loaded. Like, and they're young. They're young. That's the crazy part about
Mhm.
this team. This team is young,
Yeah.
Right.
and for their, ultimately their savior at quarterback to go down within 3 plays of the season on Monday Night Football. That sucks. I'm not even a Jets fan, but that sucked. I was like, wow, that really sucks, dude.
Right.
Dude,
Right.
it's so deflating. Just takes the air out the room, and that's what it looked like when he got helped off the field. He couldn't even. He needed help to get off the field, and that's what it looked like. You saw the people in the crowd. They looked
Yeah, that took the
hopeless.
air out of that stadium. Yeah,
It did, and
Right.
then in the first half, Zach Wilson didn't look too great, but I mean, like you was saying, Brandon, like he outplayed Josh Allen in the second half. He really did. He made. I didn't watch the rest of the game, but to my understanding, he made a lot of timely throws when it needed to happen.
Oh, he did. He did. He definitely
Yeah.
did. Cause he threw a laser to Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard almost dropped it. It was a big third down, but he the kid has talent. He got an arm. He has talent. Just give him some time. Like you said, they got a tough schedule. Just give him some time. He might it might work. It might work out. It
Yeah,
might. It just might.
I'm
It
rooting
might
for the
work
kid.
out. Yes, it might work out, and it especially might work out because of the receivers they
Think so?
got. And
Yeah,
so
that's true.
to address the comment, Jess got a lot at stake. They went all in, and so Deshaun is in agreement with myself, guys. They have to produce. Added Cook, Rogers, a bunch of receivers Rogers are familiar with. Wilson's lease is short. Make no mistake about it. Get the right quarterback that can make a deep run. And yeah, Deshaun, even with Zach Wilson, they can get in the playoffs and be hella dangerous because of that defense. They
Yeah.
remind me of Rex Ryan team already with Mark
I can see that.
Sanchez. And so if they get a quarterback, what do they remind you of then? The catch and the touchdown. Fellas, did you guys see that catch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh,
Garrett
man.
Wilson is him.
Yes.
He's him. And so that goes to show you just how talented the receivers are for the New York Jets.
Hey,
That,
hey,
just, that
Ian.
goes to show you.
Hey,
Literally.
Ian.
just how-
What college you go to?
Oh, that's from the Ohio State University. That's his own
Right.
6 product, baby.
Grown man out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the New York Jets, we'll see what they do, y'all. We'll see how Zach Wilson does because there's going to be a lot of football heads looking to see how he played this week. And if he does well, this will be great. But if he goes out
Go
there
to
and stays out the
Dallas
joint,
now.
guess what, fellas? As we know, those questions are going to continue to surface. And so, yes, lastly, fellas, if the healthy wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, or excuse me, is it an overreaction that if the healthy wide receiver duo for the Miami Dolphins of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle could reach 3,000 yards receiving this season? So, Jamar, in. That means
Not
they
an-
both get 1,500 or more, or somebody get 1,800.
Combination.
Yeah. And so,
Not
Jamar,
not an overreaction at all whatsoever. I mean, you got the 2 fastest wide receivers in the league by far, and you got a quarterback who, for the longest time people said he couldn't throw the deep ball, but I mean, I don't see an issue. I don't see any issue when you throw over 400 yards against the Chargers, who's supposed to have all these playmakers out there. And that's a team that definitely can't.
Again last week, Jamar. They charged it again last week.
Yep, and that's a team that definitely can't stop a parked car or a stop sign or a red light. They can't stop any of one of those. So yeah, definitely not overreaction, especially in the division they play in when it's you gonna get into some shootouts and that high octane offense. No, it's going down. If they healthy, it's going down.
Right. Prescott JB stated that the San Diego or the Los Angeles Chargers defense is so bad that they can't even stop the crossing guard. And so, yeah. Ian, bro, is it an overreaction to think that the wide receiver duo of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle could reach 3,000 yards receiving this season?
No, that's not an overreaction. They're basically the fast, like you guys stated, they're basically the fastest receiver duo in the league. We just seen Tyreek Hill have a monster day last week. Just a couple years ago with Patrick Mahomes, he had a 200-yard quarter. Not a half. He had a 200-yard quarter. That's insane. Like that's video game
crazy
stuff. That's video game stuff.
That's Madden, bro.
Oh my.
Yeah, but that's Madden stuff on rookie though. Not even on all Madden. That's rookie stuff, dude. So no, I mean it's not. And Jalen Waddle is just as fast, which is crazy to say. He's just as fast. So I mean, no, I mean I know they both had 1,000 last year. So why not? No, that's not an overreaction.
Yeah, no. They both I think they might have reached 3,000 last year, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, we might have to look at the numbers.
I mean, Tyreek was around 2.
But Tyreek, he was way over 1,000 last year.
He was close to 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. He was way over 1,000. And it's registered, guys, that Tyreek Hill runs about 24 to 25 miles per hour. And Jalen Waddle's at 22 miles per hour. And so when y'all say fast, yeah, them brothers fast.
It might be the fastest duo in history, actually.
They fast.
Yeah, that's possible. I probably put them up against anybody.
It's crazy. And so, yes, fellas, let's now progress with our week 2 NFL picks. And so, Jamar, and keep it brief. We let the world know who you got. And so, Jamar, who you got? Falcons, Packers, tomorrow, ATL. Who wins?
Okay, so I don't think Aaron Jones is playing tomorrow. I know he's listed as questionable, but that man ain't practiced all week, and I think that was a big help in their game last week against us.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Atlanta. I'm taking the Falcons at home.
Ian, who you got, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons. Bijan Robinson looked good last week. I'm gonna take the Falcons.
Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna roll with you as well. I'm gonna take the Falcons at home. Colts
One,
at
two, three, can
Texans.
cool.
We got Bryce Young, DJ Stroud. Who wins this one? Who goes 1-1? Jamar, who you got?
This is tough, actually. I guess Houston.
Right.
I
They
But you,
looked decent last week. They really fought hard for DJ Stroud last week. D'Amico had them motivated. D'Amico Ryans, they new head coach.
Yeah. I feel like if anything, he would bring some fundamentally sound defense to the table. If anything,
Very fundamental. You took the words out of my mouth. Oh, they fundamental.
so yeah, I'm going Houston.
And who you got, bro?
and this is the Colts, right? The Colts in Houston.
Yep.
Yeah.
Colts at Houston.
That's tough. Two rookie quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. It's crazy because I got both in my fantasy.
Ant didn't look too bad last week either.
No,
Honestly.
he didn't. He didn't. He got more points than Justin Fields. This is a tough one. They kind of. I'll say Houston. I'll go Houston. Teams are kind of on the same playing field. I'll go Houston though.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Houston as well. We'll see how the Colts do tomorrow. Colts come out and win. It's gonna open some eyes. Seahawks at the Lions. Seahawks had a bad outing last week against the Rams, y'all, who kind of look like the Rams of previous years. And so, who y'all got for this one, Jamar? Detroit, Seattle.
If I'm not mistaken, these two teams played against each other last year at a
They did.
high octane game.
It was a great game.
Didn't Seattle win that game last year?
Seattle won that game. It was a great game. Came down to the last minute or so.
Yeah, I think revenge is happening. Where's Ian's favorite colors at? We doing we doing the grit here. I'm going Lions.
All right. Yes. Ian, who you got, bro? You rolling with your squad?
You know he is.
It's a tough one, man. You know what? I'm gonna go Seahawks on this one. I want the Lions to make me a believer.
I think it's going to be a good game. And I think it's going to be a good game because of the fact that Seattle, I really like that their defense played in the first half. They really just got disgruntled the second half. First half, they look strong. DK Metcalf had a really good game last week too, but I just think Detroit's the better team. Detroit looks very explosive. So I think it's a good game, but I got Detroit at home. The Chargers at the Titans. So does Ryan Trasherhill get his first win tomorrow? I don't think so, but Jamar, who you got?
This is actually a little bit tougher than what you think.
Yeah.
Like for
because
starters,
of the fact that the Chargers charger and the Titans are at home.
Yeah, and also to peel back the layer a little bit, I don't think Austin Eckler's playing at all. So that's one thing. Two, the Chargers are super trash against the run. They have been for like a year and a half now. I think they average over like 5 yards a carry or something like that against the run.
Wow.
And you know what Tennessee Titans bread and butter is?
Right.
Titans defense is actually still okay.
Yep.
Lord and behold, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm picking the Titans. Picking the Titans. Like,
Yeah. And who you got, bro?
Like you stated, this is a tougher game than um people think. I don't think the Chargers ever play up to their ability like their talent. Um, I'm gonna go with the Chargers, but if the Titans end up winning this game, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. So I think the Chargers are the better team. Um, but then again, Titans look strong as a team. It was just Ryan Tannehill. That was the only problem with the Titans last week. I kid you not, that was the only problem with that team. Um, and so I think the Chargers still this game late off of Ryan Tannehilling, and he will heel the ball to J.C. Jackson. I think the Titans lose this game late off of a fourth quarter turnover. This is a tough game right here for me, fellas. Raiders at the Bills. Jamar, who you got?
man, I called out Josh Allen before the season start. Like your only issue is turning over the ball in key moments, and look what you did last week. 4 of them boys, 4 turnovers. But I think the Raiders are a little bit more in dysfunctional mode than they are to a certain degree, even though they end up winning. I'm gonna take the Bills. I think they're gonna bounce back.
Okay. And who you got, bro?
I'm going Raiders. Josh Allen been letting
Ooh.
me down, man. He's just been throwing the ball. He's just throwing the ball. To be honest, it seemed like since that 13-second game in Kansas City a couple
Yeah.
years ago, he ain't been the same since then.
He's been a pig machine. That's right. He's been very turnover prone, especially since that game. It's a good point because he did a lot of turnovers last year. Yeah, Jimmy G wins. I keep telling folks he is a good system quarterback.
That's his
And when
boy.
he goes places, he wins. The guy's a winner. As he did again last week. I think he goes into Buffalo and surprise some folks. Game probably won't be pretty. It probably won't be a sexy game, but he'll do enough to win the game. And I think you can count on Jimmy G, especially in the fourth quarter, unlike Josh Allen. I got the Raiders. Chiefs at the Jaguars. This is a big one for the Chiefs, fellas. Jamar, who you got, bro?
Oh man, I'm gonna say Chiefs, but I don't have the warm and fuzzies here. This is a trap game. This is the only thing I give them is the fact that you got 2 of your 3 best players coming back that didn't play in the first game. That might give them a little umph, a
Right.
little motivation. I'm taking the Chiefs. Boy, oh boy.
This is the trap game because this is the playoff team, Jacksonville, and they at home too. Uh, Ian, who you got?
Uh, yeah, Patty's my favorite quarterback in the league besides Justin, but I'm going Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Got the Jags. This is a tough game. This is tough. This is tougher than all the games. Um, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I gotta go back to the grain. Um, Ravens at the Bengals. AFC North. The Bengals looked like trash last week, or maybe it was just that the Browns were just that good now. Maybe
They look
so.
trash.
They were
I mean,
trash.
both can
So,
be.
Both could be true.
right. Could it be the money and the honeys for uh, money
Joe
and the
Burrow.
honeys now? For Joe Burrow, he got that big check now. So,
Yeah,
like, maybe even
the
party. I don't
biggest
know.
check.
Right. And so, Jamar, who you got for this one, bro?
And Home Alone got paid a couple weeks ago. Look at him now. But I mean, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that Burrow didn't play at all, and they had a slow start last year. And look how they finished. But I'm taking Baltimore.
Mm.
I'm
You
taking
made me
Baltimore.
thought you were speaking the Bears.
I was, but I like that offensive line is a little suspect. Baltimore defense, I feel like it's good enough,
Right.
and I think Baltimore is going to play a little bit better than what they did last week, just because they're going to get up for this game. So
Mm. That's real. Yeah. Ian, who you got, bro?
I'm going Cincy. Maybe this is Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's breakout game. This state game to wake everybody up this year.
Mm. It's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take Baltimore. They're gonna go in. They're gonna stun Cincinnati. I think this might come down to a field goal, fourth quarter. Got the Ravens. Bears at the Bucks. Jamar, we just talked about the Bears. They in Tampa tomorrow against Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay's defense is pretty elite. They do got Mike Evans. We got weapons too, at least on paper. Who wins this game?
my brain says the Bucks do, even though I don't trust Baker Mayfield at all. But oh boy, I'm gonna pick my squad, but that's on the tangent that Justin Fields really outperforms Baker Mayfield. So I'll take us. I'll take
Yeah,
us.
I don't blame you though, Jamar, because I when I just think of our team, I know we're better. I know we're better than what we played last week, and it's interesting. Yeah, who you got, bro?
Bear down. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. Never been a Baker Mayfield fan. Bears, let's come on, man. Let's get this season going.
Mm,
Last week was a fluke. Let's go.
right, but guys, until the Bears prove it, I got Tampa. Um, I got Tampa. I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope the Bears prove me wrong. 49ers at the Rams. This might be a
Can't
trap game for the Niners. I won't say it's a trap game, but it might be tougher than what we think if the
Kind of
Rams are
rivalry
better
game.
than what we think they are. So who you got, Jamar?
I'm ready to use that background for this one.
Okay. 1, 2,
Hmm.
3, Cancun. Got the Niners.
Yep.
Yeah,
Bang
I'm
bang
with you.
Niner gang.
I couldn't pick the Rams. I'm sorry. Yeah. Even if the Rams were better, they're
Man,
still
Brock
not
Purdy
better
looked
than the
good.
Niners. You
Brock
feel
Purdy
me?
looked good last week.
Right.
You
Even
did.
if the Rams are better, they're still not better than the Niners. Um, Giants at Cardinals. Oh wow. The Cardinals defense, guys, look pretty darn good and athletic. Um, the Giants just came out and got their asses whooped.
Yeah,
I don't know
embarrassed.
what to expect from this team. If you literally check down on Daniel Jones, he won't take the risk. He not gonna throw the ball deep, nothing like that. And if you check Saquon Barkley and make sure he ain't checked, the Giants look like a Pee Wee squad off the movie. Y'all remember the Little Giants back in the day?
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my movie.
that's exactly what
Icebox.
happened last Sunday. If you guys ever watched the Little Giants movie and you see how the New York Giants looked, they looked exactly like the Little Giants in that movie when the Dallas Cowboys whooped all on them, and it took the little girl to come in and be a hero. And so, Jamar, do the Little Giants go in and beat the little Kyler Murray in the Arizona Cardinals? Who you got for this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that they burnt that tape last week, and I'm gonna pick the Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants. I know for a fact the Giants are a better football team than the Cardinals. I just need them to actually go out there and show that they are a better football team. Therefore, I'm picking the G man.
And who you got, bro?
uh, I want to pick the Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants. They're a better team. Hopefully they come to play.
Mm, yeah. The way they looked last week, I don't know how the Giants look. Maybe the Cowboys are just that good.
Man,
Maybe
that
it was just
defense.
week one flukes. Who knows? But based off of how the Cardinals looked last week and how they fought, actually, guys, I'm gonna pick the Cardinals for this one, especially since they're at home. I think that's the advantage. I got the Cardinals, Jets at the Cowboys. Wow. So speaking of the Jets, they got a big one in Dallas.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's tough to come off the Aaron Rodgers injury, then go to Dallas, and Dallas
I told
coming off of that.
hardest
Man,
schedule first 6 weeks.
I'm
yeah.
telling you, that's tough. Yeah. Feel bad for the Jets. I think they're gonna get whooped tomorrow. That's just me. I got the Cowboys. I'm sorry for picking early, Jamar, but
No, you're fine.
yeah, who you got for this one?
Like I have a heart for the Jets, but
One, two,
oof,
three, Cancun.
I'm,
Right. The way they defense looked, y'all, man.
That defense
The,
looked
the
like the
Giants could
Monstars
not
off of
even like
Space Jam.
Micah Parsons looks like Lawrence Taylor for real.
That
Like
dude is unfair and
he
scary.
is, it's
There's no
unfair.
way.
Like Daniel Jones did not, and I can see why you come right back and pick the Giants this week. The Cowboys could be freaking Super Bowl contenders. Like if they
dude.
come out and beat the hell out the Jets, people better watch out for the
It's
Cowboys.
it's
Because
like
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I mean I'm just saying, like, who you gonna throw the ball to? You got Stephon Gilmore and you got Diggs on the other side. Who you gonna throw the ball deep to? You got one of the best safeties in football, low key. How you gonna even get past their defensive line? Like Lawrence and Micah Parsons racing each other to the quarterback. Daniel Jones did not have time to breathe. Soon as he said hike, it was literally, guys, they counted. It was about a 1.5 seconds until Micah Parsons got to him. I'm like, that's unreal. That is unreal. 1.5. That how fast are you to get to a quarterback in less than 2 seconds? It literally had Chris, forgot his name. Y'all remember, the commentators for NBC.
Collinsworth.
Collinsworth, yes, former Bengals quarterback, like legitly stunned. And so people gotta watch out for this Cowboys team, man, because the Jets, they tough too. They play defense. They hang their hat. They gonna come in. It's gonna be a physical football game. Y'all ever heard of the word physical? Like Coach Perlock used to say sometime, physical. And he used to say it just to like joke back in his Alabama days. But physical means like a Ravens Steelers game. Physical means Ray Lewis. Physical means Troy Polamalu, Brian Urlacher. It's gonna be some helmets knocked off the mob. It's gonna be a physical football game. So fellas, who you guys got for this one? Jamar in.
Oh, we still on the Cowboys?
Okay, we all got the Cowboys.
Yeah, one, two, three,
Yeah,
Cancun.
yeah,
All right,
man.
1, 2, 3, Cancun. Yes. And I think the difference in this game is Zach Wilson. But we'll see how Dak Prescott plays. If Dak Prescott, I just want to put this out there, come out and stink up the joint tomorrow, it's
There's a
going to be
chance.
rumblings about him. If he goes out and stink up the joint against the Jets tomorrow,
It's
especially with Zach Wilson at quarterback. Go ahead,
it's
Jamar. What you about to
it's
say?
it's basically both teams is basically quarterback or bust in that game.
Right. Exactly. Because the rest of their parts are good. That's factual. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers was in this game. That would have been a game of the week right there. Boom. Easy.
I'm sad. For him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
sucks for football.
Yeah, it sucks for Aaron Rodgers. What a Sunday he had to watch the Jordan Love
Watch
go
the
out
Cubs,
and beat
yep.
the
Beat the
Bears.
Bears, yep.
His
And
first
then
game without that team, that franchise, whole career, 17 years, and then literally in the same night get injured and out for the season. Pretty
next
bad
night he
Sunday
get,
for Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers.
that
It's
sucked.
pretty rough. Yeah, definitely. So yeah. Jamar, Commanders at the Broncos, bro. Who you got?
I'm taking the Broncos. Got to be back.
Yeah. And
Broncos.
yeah, I'm with y'all. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Because the Commanders won just They just lucked up. I think they look trash. No disrespect. The defensive line look good though. Dolphins at the Patriots. Who you got for this one,
Mm,
fellas?
I got the Dolphins.
Okay. Yeah. Jamar?
I think he jumped off for us. I think he coming back.
Ah, okay. Um, and so yeah, I'm with you. I got the Dolphins on this one as well. Patriots do present a nice home field. You know, they make it tough on you, like they did with Philly last week. Um, but I think the better team is the Dolphins. The more explosive team is the Dolphins. So if the Patriots come out and win that game next week, it's going to be because the Dolphins lost it. That's the only way Patriots win that game. The Dolphins have to lose that game. Um, yeah. Additionally, two Monday nighters. Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Saints at the Panthers, bro. Who you got for this one? Derek Carr, Bryce Young get his first win. Which one?
Yeah, this is tough. Man, I'm gonna go Saints on this one. They should win this one.
They should. Although they looked trash last week and they
Yeah,
literally
they didn't
lucked
look.
up,
Yeah, they didn't really look too. They didn't
they
look
didn't
too
look
good,
good at
but
all. Um, at all. But you know, yeah. Actually, this is my upset pick. I'm gonna pick the Panthers at home, bro. I'm gonna pick the Panthers. Think the Panthers just come out and have just a good game Monday night. A lot of energy, bro. A lot of emotions. Bryce Young's first game, and the Saints. I don't know what they are yet. Maybe they can come out and they can look real good, but I don't see. I don't. I just don't. It's hard for me to see that, and so we'll see. Michael Thomas is still in that uniform, so
yep.
Alvin Kamara is he playing tomorrow? Andy, you know?
No, I think he is. If I'm not mistaken, he's suspended. I
Oh,
think.
okay, for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's suspended for 6 or 4 weeks, I believe.
Right, it's
Let
4 or 6.
fact.
Yeah, four came to
Yeah,
my mind initially, but generally when somebody's suspended, it's usually for 6 weeks.
yeah.
So yeah, but regardless of the fact he's suspended tomorrow for Monday, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers in the upset on this one, bro. On the other hand, the Browns at the Steelers. So who you got for this one, bro?
Browns at the Steelers. Steelers didn't look too good last week on offense. I'm gonna go Browns.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Steelers gonna play a good game, but I think Cleveland is a better team. So I think Cleveland win this by 4 to 7 points. So I got Cleveland. Um, and so yeah, we'll get your Mars picks soon. We'll get your Mars picks shortly. We'll have to post them, etc. And so yes, world, that concludes our picks for week 2 of the NFL. And so with that being said, let's now progress into a very important part of our segment, which is N's basement. And so, yes. Ian, what you got for us this week for N's basement, bro?
I got three things. So, one thing I noticed this week is I know it's not basketball season, but I see that Dwight Howard is working out for the Golden State Warriors this upcoming week. If they was to get Dwight Howard, I think that would be a big sign for them, being that they need size. I know Dwight Howard is a little, up there in age, but having that big body like that in the West, with all those big guys, you got to defend. That would be a great pickup for them. And then
Yeah,
you'll have Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, and the Splash Brothers, and I think it'd be a good look for Golden State. I think they should make that happen. Depending on his workout, I'm pretty sure he's a pretty gifted, physical specimen. So I think that'd be a great pickup for the Warriors. Um,
yeah, fantastic
think you
pickup. Yeah,
think you talked about it earlier. Our Sky, they're down. They got uh they got blasted game one.
yeah,
So game two will be tomorrow. Hopefully they'll make it, a little more competitive. They're going up against a juggernaut, man. That's tough. That's tough for the Chicago Sky. And
yeah.
another thing, so remember the guy Jordan Whitehead? he got 3 interceptions of Josh Allen Monday night.
Right.
So supposedly he earned a $250,000 bonus for making 3 interceptions, and he got that off one game season opener. That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane, bro.
Mm,
I thought that was insane. That's crazy. He- Josh Allen,
wow.
you gotta take care of the ball. And another thing, so I know Dion is doing an awesome job at Colorado, but I
Yeah.
think one thing that's been going unnoticed is how Jackson State is still flourishing. Like they just recently updated their not the locker room but the weight room. So they have
Hmm.
they got the whole weight room redone over, and I just think that's just a testament to him just being the coach that he is, and a man of his word. They got a new practice field, whole new football facility. Now the weight room is just state of the art, and I think that's awesome, man. So his impact is still in Jackson State, even though he's in Colorado. I don't think people really understand that to its entirety.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
your daughter?
yeah, that's but that's all I got for us this weekend.
Yes, sir. Hello, the young lady. Yes, I see her little
She's
pretty
sitting right
hands.
here in my
Yes.
lap. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. Yes. And so, Jamar, bro, if you want to, you can give us your picks now. You can post them. But we made our final three picks for the week. And it was the two Monday night games, and it was the Dolphins at the Patriots. And so, if you want to, who you got for the Dolphins and Pats, bro?
Dolphins.
All right. Saints at the Panthers Monday night.
Sorry, Ian. Saints.
I
All
picked the
right.
Saints too.
You picked the Saints too.
He
Yeah.
Brady picked the
I
Panthers.
picked the Panthers. I picked the Panthers to pull off an upset at home. Just a lot of emotions Monday night. I feel like Albert Kamara gonna be missed. So yeah, I got. I just
Yeah,
watched the
fact
Saints last week. They didn't look so good, Jamar, at all. The only
yeah,
reason they
fact
won
check
was
on
because they played a bad team.
fact checked on Alvin Kamara. I think he'll be back September 25th.
Yeah, he got
Okay.
a three
And
game
that's a Monday
suspension.
night game. Yeah, and that's a Monday
Okay.
night game.
All right. Yep. And so yeah. Yep. Cool. And so yeah.
Um,
Um,
Real quick.
Browns at the Jamar. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Browns. Who did y'all have?
For me, I had the Browns.
Yeah, I had the Browns too.
Yeah,
Okay, and then the Broncos Commanders. Who did you all have?
I got the Broncos.
Yeah, I
And
had the
who did you?
Broncos as well.
Yeah,
And did both of you all pick the Dolphins too?
yeah,
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm set. Cool.
yeah. Cool, great. Yes. And so, Jamar, since we own you, bro, let us now head to our final thoughts and shout outs as we head into the weekend.
Besides, the magic of football being back and all this allure, one thing that I did hear about yesterday that definitely caught my eye, and it's a sport that we don't talk about as much, but we do when we're relevant, is baseball. And I noticed that Shohei Ohtani, the prized possession of this year's offseason, cleaned out his locker already. He
Mm,
cleaned that thing out.
Oh, oh.
wow. Yeah.
So not saying he's coming to the north side or south side, but just knowing that man might be on the move, like for real, for real. And
Yeah.
the
I would
Angels are
love
supposed to
it.
explain it today, but look, man, anybody that cleans out their locker early, I don't know. It
Man,
just
that franchise is trash. Yeah, they're trash. They are. To have supposedly two of the best three players for all these years and never do nothing. Have, we've been talking about the Angels right in Jamar for years,
yeah.
Yep.
And so yeah, it does not surprise me. Um, and bro, final thoughts and shout outs.
Just another great show with you guys. Um,
Off the chain, yeah.
everybody have a good weekend and be safe out there. And it's I think it's Mexican Independence Day this week, or they're celebrating that. So you guys be safe out there. And maybe I'll bring my Peoples Hernandez hat out.
All right, yes sir.
Hey, the peoples.
Right. Yes, sir. And so, yes, world, that concludes our show. May you guys have a blessed weekend. Enjoy football. That's
Say
my
bye.
final thought. And shout out.
Say bye bye.
Bye. And so, on
Later,
that
man.
note, from Little Imani right in,
Yep.
have a great weekend. Peace.
Peace.